George Miller produced and co-wrote the original Babe film from 1995, a film I have very vivid memories of seeing when I was barely a few years old. Not a bad film, decent, not one I feel strong attachment to now. Some films from that age remain masterly entrancing experiences. The Jungle Book, Toy Story 2, Star Wars original trilogy. George Miller returned for Babe's sequel, having a hand in the script again, along with Judy Morris and Mark Lamprell, and outright directing the feature too. I remember watching this when I was young once. I remember the orangutan Babe being accompanied by the duck eventually. I remember him running away from those savage dogs, scary. It is a much darker and imaginatively ambitious film than the first one, more reflecting its composer's desire to build a fantasy world on screen than it does a considered selfless fable for impressionable young children, although it makes Pig in the City, at least when viewing it as an adult, a far more interesting, captivating film than the original, one which can be appreciated as a production, a certain cinematographic character, and for engaging one on more enriching terms than cute pig needs to survive or save the day. Pig in the City introduces a cast of surprisingly complex and rather sympathetic characters beyond their being cutesy, cuddly, or appealingly vulnerable, as an animal character would be compared to a human, we can consider maybe. Pig in the City's animal cast have a depth and nuance which most human casts cannot muster, not due to acting performances even, but due to the prospective limitations of writing human characters free of cliche, yet derived from a tangible reality. The leeway granted by fantastical animal characters, though still here bounded by the principles of belief suspension in a live action context, versus the potential for cartoonish exaggeration in an animated format, gives them a right to an audience then to exist as unrealistic creations, yet removed from any tied tropes by being peculiar animals in bizarre anthropomorphic settings, without any obligation to reality or overly in debt to established human character tropes in film fiction either. I am quite in favour of this film and consider it one of Miller's better or even best works. I could call it underrated, although I believe now it has a larger and more passionate fan base than ever before. So, that's Babe Pig in the City. Yes, we're doing a George Miller season in general, not just Mad Max. For most of his worthwhile features were Mad Max titles, with the exception of Pig in the City and now, more recently, also